What up, though? Welcome to another episode of 17 Winners Podcast with your brother Mike X. We are actually at podcast episode number 40, so I'm 10 episodes away from being a professional, y'all. I appreciate y'all for riding this journey and continuing to support me along this way. So that being said, man, today's conversation is going to be about generational incarceration. As you know, if you've been listening, one of the main questions that I ask on the podcast is, should a female hold a guy down when he go to the joint? And if you've been listening, you kind of know my perspective on that. But today, I think the conversation shifts this question completely. Not only in the stop debating about who should be loyal or not, but in the sense of what happens to the children while everybody else debates loyalty, right? That being said, I have an esteemed brother here with me today, the author of Momma, Does My Daddy Still Love Me? A conversation about generational incarceration and specifically supporting the women who are seldom talked about along this journey. That being said, come on with me. Welcome to 17 Winners Podcast. Welcome my brother, Alexis Devon Smith, to the podcast. What up, though, bro?
What up? Thank you for having me. Appreciate the intro. Again, my name is Alexis Devon Smith. I am a juvenile lifer, a reentry specialist, author, and a second chance architect, if you will. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, man, welcome to the podcast, my brother. I know we've been talking for the longest. Since you came home, we kind of been kicking it back and forth about having this conversation on the podcast. Yes, but sir. I am a firm believer in when it's time, it's time.
Indeed.
Like, I don't rush nothing. I be on time with time.
Absolutely.
And I think this is a perfect time.
It is.
That being said, man, I have been getting into the book. Forgive me, I have not completed it, but I definitely have been into it and taking notes. And first and foremost, I am proud of you, my brother, for completing this task of writing your first book and publishing your first book all on your own.
Thank
I
you,
remember
brother.
you texting me and calling me and wherever you caught me in public and stopping me and say, hey, bro, hey, what you do? How you do? And I appreciate being able to give the game, right?
Absolutely.
As well as I appreciate seeing you go through with it, because a lot of times people will ask the questions but not follow through with the work.
Absolutely.
So that was also one of the things that I recognized about you. I was like, yeah, it's time for us to get on this podcast now.
One thing about it, I literally was I know you was just at the CVI conference the other day.
Yes, sir.
One of the exonerees was up here from the city, and he called me, came and swooped me up, and he's getting involved in the work, whether it be CVI or reentry, and he asked me about a lot of the things that's going on, and one of the things he mentioned was a lot of gatekeeping.
Yes, sir.
And what I did tell him, I brought you up, and I said, man, one thing I can say about the brother up here, Mike X, is that he's always willing to help. He's always inviting. As long as you doing the right thing, it's all doors open.
Doors open,
so
yeah. I ain't holding none of this.
I definitely appreciate, all the work you've been doing before I got here and the work we're going to put in together,
yes,
and our individual and collective thought processes.
Man, yes, sir. Yes, sir. That being said, it's a couple of things that are regulars about the podcast. I know you've heard it a few times. So, I don't get into people's past cases and stuff like that. I don't really care nothing about who you were before you became the person you are now.
Right.
As much as I care about how you got here.
Okay.
Right. So, do you remember? The first question is always, you remember your prison number?
Absolutely. I mean, how could I not?
Right. What's your prison number?
311169.
So that 311 number, that's a 2000 number, y'all.
Yeah.
For those that, if you've been in the penitentiary, you get to, once you've been there a while, you start identifying the time frames when people caught their case.
Absolutely.
By their number, which is another weird identifier that I hadn't even considered until now. So,
right.
But yeah, a 3 number between 3130 up to about 3536 was 2000. 2000 to from 2000 beginning 2000 to 2001.
Yeah,
because I got a 35 number.
Okay.
And my number came at the end of 2000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And but my brother got a 32 number. He got a 326, and he got his number earlier because he was on probation.
Yeah, I got mine earlier that year in 2000. But
Yep. So, before I even get into the book though, how much time did you do?
I did almost 25. I usually round it off from 25, but I did about 24 years.
Yes, sir.
I
yes,
was
sir.
fortunate enough to be under the old law where I got disciplinary credits.
Okay.
So when I was resentenced, it ate up a lot of those years, and I ended up being about a year and a half past my ERD. So
let's talk about that a little bit. The resentence, because there was a shift in the not law, right? It was a shift. It was a case change that changed the constitutionality of your case, right?
Absolutely. Well, initially, it was 17 and under. The United States Supreme
life,
Court,
right?
for life, for juvenile, for those who were sentenced to a life without parole sentence at 17 or under, it was cruel and unusual punishment, which is an Eighth Amendment violation. Later on, the courts ruled, the United States Supreme Court ruled that each individual state is allowed to make their own determination of where they want to draw that line. So in Michigan, they had the opportunity to raise it up to 18, and that's how old I was. The case was People versus Parks and People versus Poole. One was on direct appeal to see if it was constitutional. The other one was for retroactivity. That means for everybody that was before, it applies to them as well. Some prosecutors conceded, said, yeah, we already know it's going to be retroactive. We see the law. Some fought it out, but in the end, it was retroactive.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, it's good to see you. I remember when you first popped up on the scene, it was like, man, where this guy just show up at? The brother just popped up and started being at places and shit. I was like, all right, bro, what up, though? So, yeah, it's good to see also how you've matured in the time that you've been home, because you are also the reentry specialist at SADO, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely.
And what's SADO for my listening audience? Because they're not in the ecosystem we're in where we be slanging these acronyms around.
So SADO is an acronym for State Appellate Defender's Office. They're basically the public defenders of everybody who has been convicted of a crime, whether it be even by plea agreement. If they decide to exercise their right to appeal, they submit it, and usually you get an attorney from SADO or Max.
Yeah, and we actually got the SADO office is here in Lansing now, right there on Washington. They're building up.
There are two offices. There always has been. The Lansing office, though, has grown over the years, but over the last maybe like 5 or 10 years, it has dramatically grown.
Mushroomed, huh?
Mushroomed.
Because y'all got that building.
Yeah, we just relocated again.
Oh, for real?
We are now located over there because we couldn't find a place downtown. We found a place over there in Old Town.
Okay.
Right off the water.
Okay, got you. All right. Well, yeah, man, it's definitely good to see you in that position, especially considering that a lot of times people who are resentenced or even exonerees are not given the opportunity for any reentry assistance, navigation, or anything. You often are just like resentenced and dropped on your head out here, especially if you don't have like a parole stipulation. So it's good to see. But regardless of that, it's good to see that you are navigating others like you, because going to the penitentiary 18, 19 with life on your back. I was there with 16 years to do. And it felt like life. I hung with all the lifers. All of my mans was the lifers because it felt like life to me. I didn't know anybody who was 16 years older than I was at the time other than my mama and them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It felt like life.
Definitely, I can understand that.
So I can't even get all the way into the mentality that you actually felt with the life. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it's good to see these changes in our system.
Absolutely.
Shit, I ain't finna claim this. Changes in the system that allows, it ain't our system, the system that allows for that redemptive opportunity.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
For sure. I guess that leads me into why you wrote this book, right? That makes sense now that we done got off into the penitentiary a little bit. My first question is, what inspired you to write Mama, Does My Daddy Still Love Me?
What really inspired me was my mother. I'm an only child.
Okay.
I might have seen my father maybe 3 times in my life, and the last time I seen him I might have been like 14 years old, and that was only for maybe like 3 to 5 minutes. You know what I mean? So when I was incarcerated, I think it had to been like maybe 2016. And my mom came up to see me, and I noticed something. I was at MR. You know how MR set up. The visiting room, they got a downstairs, they got upstairs.
Upstairs, yep.
So you got to fill up the upstairs before start putting people downstairs.
So they made her go upstairs.
They had her come upstairs. So this time I noticed her moving a little slower. And I had to help her up the stairs. It got to the point to where they even allowed me to go to the vending machine for her because she just really couldn't move like she used to. And she began to talk to me about, what it will look like in her absence. And it really hit me like, dang, I'm still in here and I'm my mama's only child. She's going through a rough time and I'm not able to help her. I started to ask myself later on over the next few days, what I have done, what could I have told her, what could I have provided her with to help her navigate the situation of having somebody that she loves so dearly be snatched away from her. And I began to just write things down. When we're in prison, we have all this time, and we sit there and try to exercise our mind as much as possible. We don't use just the idiot box, as people that don't know, that's the TV. We refer to that as the idiot box, but, I just write things down, and I started writing so much, it turned into a big couple of binders. And after that, I said to myself, man, I could formulate this into maybe some chapters. So I just picked out a list of things that should be discussed that I would have wanted to know about. And that list was like 30 things. And I was like, man. So then I said, well, let me trim this down, get it more compact. Then I said, I wonder if I can turn these into chapters in a book. So I just began to write everything out. Take the first chapter, do this, put this in it, and I just began to continue with. Again, that was 2016, and between that time and the time I was released, I worked on a couple other pieces of work. But it wasn't until I got home, and just 9 months before that, my mom was diagnosed with dementia.
9 months before you was
9
released.
months before I was released, she was diagnosed with dementia. And the day I come home, my mother couldn't even recognize me. She had no clue who I was. The one who she'd been fighting for, praying for, telling everybody that her son would one day come home. She did not have the opportunity to bask in the glory and the gratification knowing that her only child had made it home.
Damn.
And it really sunk in with me, I tell this story often. One day, me and my mom was sitting upstairs on her bed, and I was just talking to her, and she asked where Alex at, and that's what she calls me. Where Alex at? Well, I'm like, I'm right here. She's like, no. So I pulled my ID out on her. I said, look. She looked at it, looked at the name, looked at me, said the name, looked at me, and was like, I'm going to tell my son you trying to steal his identity. I was like, man, get my stuff, man. I'm through, man. I just walked out.
Yeah.
I said, I'm through. It don't even matter no more. I know that, that's my mom, I love her regardless, but I'm through trying. You know what I mean? I'm just going to be here. But like I said, it's that type of thing that I was seeing in her that pushed me to complete this piece of work. So I began to chug away at it and, write things and format it more and said eventually I was editing, calling you, asking other people, and I wasn't getting that much help. But one thing you told me was just do it myself because I had other opportunities to work with other publishers. But I wanted to make sure that I had full and complete control over something that I put so much work
into.
And not just the work, but this is for my mother. You know what I mean? I didn't go on to write this for monetary gain. That's not how I started. Still not what I'm doing, but I did this for my mother. That's why I dedicated it to her. So I wanted to make sure that I maintain control of it and hand it down eventually the rights to it to my children and their children.
Yes, sir. The title, Mama, Does Daddy Still Love Me? Why that? Why? Where did that title come from? Why you come up with that one?
Tupac.
Okay, I remember that on Strictly for My Niggas.
Yeah, or I thought it was Me Against the World.
He said,
"What's wrong with? Hey, Mama, what's wrong with Daddy? Why he standing about that window with that AK? He don't work, he don't sleep, he don't, So, it was just a variation of that. Of Mama, Does My Daddy Still Love Me? Because of the things that we do in the streets, it would bring a child to ask that question. If a father is absent, It'll bring a child to ask that question. My children ask me that question. On top of when are you coming home and doing life without parole, all I can just tell them is that I'm working on it. Hopefully soon. Pray for me. You know what I mean? So, Mama, does my daddy still love me is also based on the fact that I only seen, again, my biological father 3 times. How can he say he loves me if he's only literally seen me 3 times and you literally stayed 2 blocks away from me? You know what I mean? So it's more so geared about the realization that although you might be absent the love for the father, the love of a mother is unmatched.
So who does the book like for specifically? I mean, I know you were inspired by your mom, but she's not doing the reading right now. So like, have you read it to her?
Yes.
You have?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Gave it to her. She done messed up a copy because she liked to rip up stuff and do stuff. I said, you ain't getting no more copies.
No, these cost money,
Yeah, these cost money, Mama. But I read it to her. I let her look at the name because she know that name. You know, she don't know who I am per se, but she knows that name. So I read it to her, and she definitely, smiles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. So yeah, who is your target audience then? Like who should get this book in their hands and like utilize it as they move forward in dealing with this?
My target audience is mothers who have mothers or women who have a loved one incarcerated, whether it's your husband, your boyfriend, your child, your grandchild, your nephew, your homeboy, or your daughter or your granddaughter, or your niece and nephew that's incarcerated. I mean, I have given this material to women who has not even had anyone involved in the justice system, so-called justice system, I'm going to say. And they resonate with this material because it's universal. I'm touching on aspects of relationships that's unheard of normally in this space, because one of the things I identify is the hidden sentence. And it's something that I wasn't aware of when I was incarcerated, and that's the real effect that it has on our loved one, especially women who are supporting us through these difficult times.
Man, yes, sir. You actually like took one of my questions away from me with that answer. That was good though.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was good though. That was good though. So I'm wondering, in the writing, in the release, in the feedback, because you dropped it, what, like 2 months ago?
Yeah, March.
Yep. So like in the time that it's been out and you've been actually living with this thing, this piece of work, man, because it's more than just like entertain. You know what I'm saying? Like this is actually hard work from my perspective, right?
Absolutely.
Have you felt any connection to healing, or like have you felt, I don't know, what have been your feelings in response to releasing this?
I am definitely glad that I have been able to help so many women. I have been contacted through what is it, GM, what is it called?
On the social media?
Yeah,
that's right.
And I mean, they have been like, hey, this book has helped me. I got one post from a young lady. She said, me and my daughter just read the first chapter and we both started crying. Her father is incarcerated. I mean, it's countless of examples that I have been contacted with that show that the book is really taking effect, the desired result.
Yeah.
How do I feel about it? I'm happy about it, definitely, but I'm almost still numb from what I went through. It's like we were just talking about. I don't have time to feel. I'm just pushing forward. Some people ask me, how many have you sold so far? I don't even look. I haven't looked not one time. I haven't looked at what's in my account, none of that. I'm just pushing the book. I know that not enough people has been able to grab this piece of work and use it for what it's meant for. So I'm not even concerned about what I've done so far.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I actually plan on getting into a little bit of it because I ain't gonna lie to you, it was a couple of things that triggered me in there. Yeah, man, because I got some different feelings on that, especially being a father, right? I grew up similar. I can't say that. I won't do that to my father. My dad fell to the crack era. He still had a strong line connection to my mom, and I think my mom's strength and like centered things where his orbit never went too far away, even though he would like be gone for literally years at a time, right? He would eventually end up back in the orbit enough for me to have some semblance of what my dad is. So I won't like beat him up.
Right.
I try my best not to beat him up because I also recognize he's a man and he didn't know what he didn't know. Shit, if I was growing up in the time that they growing up in now, I might have been drinking lean, right? And that's basically what's happening to this generation. But I say all of that to say I kind of grew up, you know, in the similar sense of not having my father.
Right.
At least not in his right mind and his fullness of capacity of what he should be as a father, right?
Absolutely.
And in feeling that, that has been my like my fuel in my fatherhood. Like I'm hands on. I'm every step of everything.
I
right?
see
like
that.
I don't
I
play.
see it.
And it's because of that relationship that I felt like was broken with my father, right? I say all of that to say there were some things in the book that was like, you know, you even said something today already, like, you know, but a mother's love is unmatched. And I'm willing to bet I got top 3 mamas in the world. You know, and I'm sure everybody damn near feel like that about their mama, right? I've seen people who mama wasn't shit for real, but they son say my mama was the best mama. So
absolutely,
that's real in and of itself. But I stand to put my mama up against anybody mama as a woman of integrity, of a woman that leads and taught me how to be a leader and all of that, right? And I still stand to say that shit ain't enough without a father.
I agree.
And therefore, there is a match. I think God created us with a duality for a reason. I think the match is the father. I think you need them both in full perspective. You know what I'm saying? So like, and it was nothing personal because at the same time, I'm a mama's boy, right? So I feel you.
But you touched on exactly what I mean, though. When I say a mother's love is unmatched, it is just like a father's love is unmatched.
Yeah.
Mama can't love the child like the father can, and the father can't love that child like the mother can. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So each of them have their individual role. That's why it takes 2.
Yes, sir.
So when I say it's unmatched, I mean
it's unmatched by any but God.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes,
exactly.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Both of these loves are needed in order to give this child what it needs to come into this world and really, you know, be all that he can be, as the saying goes.
Yeah, for sure, sure. Before I get into reading some of my little excerpts that I got, you know, highlighted in the book, I started off by saying one of the main questions that I like to ask is, should a female hold a guy down? And I think your book is like an answer. It's like the answer, right? So that being the case, I want to know from your perspective, like, what's the answer to that? At this point, after going through what you've gone through, writing this work, and now living in this moment.
You know, I hinted towards that in this book, but I left it kind of open on purpose. And the reason I did that is because every woman has their own individual situation. I just want everybody, man or woman, to make a decision based on all the information that they have available without using outside sources, people outside of their relationship, outside of their sphere, to determine what they should or shouldn't do. Because a lot of times, or most times, societal norms or societal ideologies dictates what we do as individuals.
Yes, sir.
That's the problem.
Yes, sir.
This tool is a tool of healing. It's a tool that says, hey, love yourself. You can support yourself, but you can support him. And there are multiple ways to support someone. And a lot of times they don't know what to do. When we say, help us, do this, do that, they don't know. They never been through the system. This is their first time really having hands on somebody they love immediately go through the system.
Yes, sir.
And that's what this touches on.
Yes, sir.
That's why it starts from the very beginning. From the intro, it says she gets the phone call. They got him. He's under arrest. There'll be a hearing soon. Yeah. It's starting from the very beginning.
Yeah.
It's talking about how he goes through the process and the kids is asking questions.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Everybody knows, word spreading. Her friends is talking. The kids is talking. You know what I mean? They teasing his kids or her kids. You know what I mean? So I'm taking a walk all the way through to judges and detectives and cops.
No, for
the
real.
different roles that they play because they have different roles.
Yeah.
But we don't know that.
We don't know
the
that.
women don't know that.
Facts.
But that's what this is for.
Yeah. Yeah, so let me get into this excerpt because
Yeah.
I think you really identify some key things when it comes to that. That's why I asked the question the way that I did, because I was reading your book and I'm like, damn, this is how you hold a guy down. I always say, or for those who don't know, my answer to that question is yes and no. Yes, you should hold the guy down. If you was rocking with him and he was your man and he go to the penitentiary, yes, you should hold him down, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
That does not mean put your life on hold. That does not mean allow yourself to go down some hole because he done did it.
Mm-hmm.
It means more or less what you said in this book. So let me read some of this excerpt. Y'all bear with me. Like, y'all, I can read really well for the record. So y'all just bear with me. The different forms of standing by someone. Mental support. The hardest part will not be waiting. It will keep him from sinking, from losing himself in the isolation of a system designed to strip men of hope. Can you do that? Can you remind him of his worth without losing sight of your own? Or emotional support. Can you handle his silence, his frustration, his moments of doubt? Standing by someone isn't just about love, it's about endurance. Can you remain steady when the weight of his situation becomes too much? Financial support. This isn't just about phone calls and letters. It's about helping him rebuild when he is released. It's about the cost of stability, the sacrifices you may have to make. Are you willing to bear that? Are you able? Personal boundaries. Above all else, you must ask yourself, can I stand by him without losing myself? Can I support him without sacrificing my own dreams, my own goals, my own life? Man, brother, I was like, yeah, those are the phases. That's when I was in the penitentiary. So the way I did my bit, I was one of them guys who, when I went to the penitentiary, it was all on me. I wasn't calling home and my girl, I need you to. I wasn't none of that. It was like I had a few females that rocked with me and they were solid. And like for the most part, they all remained a level of solid, right? But when they fell off, you know how everybody break bad or fall off while you're in the penitentiary, but I never looked at it as like they fell off or they left me. It was always life is happening, bro. Like all of the maturity, and I'm not saying that I understood it immediately. It took a few years for me to be in there, right?
Of course.
But once I started to recognize that like maturation is happening out there that I ain't even experienced yet. Yeah. How can I hold her to being the 18-year-old or the 17-year-old or the 16-year-old girl she was when I came to prison? And now we 25, now we 28, now we 32, and I'm still in here. You know what I'm saying? So, but I say all of that though, and those women still like made sure I got letters up under my door. They made sure that I was in tune with what was going on when things were happening that mattered.
Right.
Right? They made sure that when things were happening that mattered, they represented for me. You know what I'm saying? Especially here at home in Lansing, right? It was plenty of times where one or all three of them would be showing up places in my name. Hell, visits, phone calls. Like, I didn't need them to maintain me in there financially. I was straight. My mama made sure I was straight. I was a hustler in there. I was able to make moves and I got connected, so I was straight in there.
Definitely.
I didn't need to pour my emotions on them. I wasn't a crier in the penitentiary. I didn't need to tell them my day to day. But what I did need was the comfort of a female to break up this time, to make me not feel like I was left alone or like I was thrown away or that I wasn't valuable. That was hard, bro.
Listen.
That was a hard line.
Listen. A lot of times, like I said, they don't know. And this is not just for the women. When I was putting it together in my conclusion phase, I wanted to make sure that I remember where I came from.
Yes, sir.
I got to remember that guys in there, what they going through, what they experiencing. And I wanted to make sure that they received the best support that they could from a woman after reading this. So I included certain things to make a woman reflect and then ask her a question and say, okay, this is what I need to do. This is how I can be there for them.
Yeah.
She might not have the money. She got 4 kids.
Right.
She love you, though.
She love you, though. It's genuine.
It's genuine, but she can put some money on. She can put some money on the phone.
Yeah.
She can't send you nothing.
She can't send you $50
send
every
you some
week. But she can
JPEGs.
put $30 on the phone that lasts a couple weeks.
She can send you some JPEGs. She can send you a couple pictures.
Yeah.
That's all she can do right now.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And that's okay. That's support.
That's support.
That's holding you down.
Absolutely.
Because it's a brother that's sitting in his cell right now, can't get none of that.
Now the slug.
He in there literally like dying alone and crumbling as a man inside. And I'm not necessarily saying everybody does.
No.
But like that is a thing.
It is. And that's why it is. It's women out there that are providing that. And sometimes I know they feel insufficient, like they ain't doing enough.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying you are. You showing up.
You think men fully understand like the weight of this on women and children? Because you say women feel like they're not showing up. We be making them feel like that.
Yes, and that's why I just say we don't know. I didn't know. It took me years. Then I just realized that I can't expect somebody to do more than they're capable of doing. You know what I mean? Who am I? I can do this. I can say I can do that. But like you said, the world out there is still moving. I'm walking the track. We walking in circles. We live in Groundhog's Day. At least I was like every day.
Every day.
I'm not getting a day closer to being released because I'm serving life without parole.
Right.
Not a day closer.
Right.
Why everybody else.
Because that was the thing I could carry.
Yeah.
Was that I'm getting closer.
I'm getting closer. Oh, the calendar flip a few more calendars and I'm good. But me,
it was just a
ain't
day.
No day. It's just Groundhog's Day. I'm waking up every morning and I'm doing the same thing.
Sidebar. How the fuck did you keep focused with that being the thing? How did you, what made you decide to do anything other than penitentiary?
I just told myself that this wasn't it. Jay-Z got this song, these bars, he say, I think it's the chorus. He say, this can't be it, this can't be life, there's gotta be more, right?
Yes, sir.
And I used to sing that in my head dang near every day because not that I was better than anyone, I felt like I was better than that. I was placed here to do more than spend the rest of my life in prison. I had more to offer the world. And I didn't know when, how, or why it was gonna happen, but in my mind, I knew I was gonna get out. So I did everything in my power to prepare myself. So when that one shot came,
I'll be ready.
I'll be ready, and I will be able to be presented in a fashion to where they do, if it's a question, I can push the pendulum over to my side to give me that opportunity because it's all that question always comes up. They're always skeptical about us when it comes to giving us a chance.
Yes, sir.
So that's why I say second chance architect because I planned it out before it even happened. I knew it was coming.
Yes, sir.
I've been ready.
Yes,
My
sir.
attorney told me, you made my job easy. When I showed them that you had been taking classes, getting certificates way back in the beginning of your bid consistently, all the way up until this point, you didn't just start when the court made the ruling. She said, that sold the show.
Yeah, man, that's deep. That's deep, bro. Man, again, glad that you home. Glad that you made it through that.
Man, thank you.
You think holding the guy down or holding people down in the penitentiary is like romanticized in our culture?
I don't think it's romanticized. I don't think it's taken as serious as it should be. I just got on TikTok.
Okay.
Right. And the only reason I got on there is because one of our brothers, he on there, he big on social media. That's what he always used to say when we used to walk the yard. He just say, man, I'm finna go out there and do this. I'm finna do that. Get on social media, podcast, this, that, and other. And I'm like, yeah, but he got out there and he do
You
it.
doing it? Okay.
And he said, man, can you get on there and support me? So I created a TikTok account.
Just to get on there and
just
support
to get on
him.
there and support
What's
him.
the brother page name?
Make it Mr. Rain.
Make it
the
Mr.
real Mr. Rain.
The real Mr. Rain. All right, bro.
Yep.
We shouting you out on the
real
podcast,
Mr.
man.
Rain,
You need that support for your platform. The real Mr. Rain. That's on. I'm gonna follow you too.
Yeah. So I got on there and I was watching. I'm like, man, it's so much stuff on the screen.
Man.
I'm like, it's all these He like, do this. I'm like, man, I ain't touching nothing. I ain't gonna break my phone, right? I need this. But after a while, I said, he was talking to me about, he asked me, has I been paying attention, like going through stuff. And I seen how people was marketing their material, whatever they were selling, clothes, shoes, books, jewelry, I mean, you name it. And he was like, you got that book, you need to put that on here. You need to make some, reels and some posts. And I'm like, dang, maybe I should. So eventually, I was figuring out Facebook, but TikTok is a whole different animal.
I'm just now starting to listen to TikTok.
So I'm starting to do it and, talking to different women chat rooms who are prison wives, prison girlfriend wives rooms, and they're supporting each other. And I slide in there, introduce myself respectfully and just tell them who I am and what I've been through, where I am now, and tell them about my book. And then, explain the whole scenario. And, most of them, if not all of them, have really been receptive. They're supportive. They've been like, hey, okay, we'll check it out. Yeah. And that's when it started building. And then Miss Bella, she's on TikTok as well. She created a book club with my book. She had women come in there and they literally have a book club. Told everybody to order my book, told them where it was at, look it up. Everybody on there, they going over it chapter by chapter. So it really has having an impact, and that's why I'm just trying to spread the word.
Man, yeah, no, for sure. That's that's dope as hell.
Yes, sir.
Let me find my other excerpt, because I got a couple of them, man, I wanted to touch on in here. Ooh-wee, this was one that triggered me right here. This is one that triggered me. This was a conversation about making a decision on whether or not to allow your children to be in contact with the father while he's incarcerated. Mm-hmm. And man, boy, when I say triggered, I was like, oh, hell no, I ain't going, bro. No, but of course you have to read further to really grasp the understanding. But I do want to read this excerpt and talk a little bit about why it triggered me. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to start here. It says, but you don't owe anyone an explanation because this is your life. These are your children whom you have been placed in a position to raise alone. Therefore, this is your decision. Whatever choice you make, you do it for them, not for him, not for anyone watching, not for the people who think they know better. You do it because you are their mother, and that, above everything else, makes you the most qualified person to make this decision. Oh, boy, I was so damn triggered when I heard that. I was like, no, the hell it don't. Well, I know a whole bunch of mamas that don't make good-ass decisions.
Well, that's true. But I really want you to look deeper into it. It's something we just discussed when I said a mother's love is unmatched. Mm-hmm. And I just said, well, yeah, a father's love is unmatched as well.
Yes, sir.
So when I say don't base it on societal norms, what people say, the gossip, even your warped possible emotions, I'm really trying to give a woman their freedom to make the right decision, because we said you need both parents to raise a child, no matter where he's at. Mm-hmm. You need both. Mm-hmm. And this is my mobile of saying, don't do it for nobody but the children. Put them first. And what do children need? If he's home, what do they need? Both parents. No difference if he's locked up. He still needs both. He or she still needs both parents, whether it be visits, whether it be phone calls, just to know I do have a dad. This is what he expects from me. He loves me. He's interested in my day, even if it's just 15-minute increments from those phone calls, even if it's 2, 3, 4-hour visits. He's interested in me. He loves me.
Yeah.
But I want them to make that decision based on what we talked about, that love, instead of what society would have you now. Like you said, is it romanticized? It's being, I think, disrespected. They're not taking it serious. They're all on social media bragging about my man in there doing this, he got that, sent me this, bought me that. Really what you're doing is putting your man, your loved one, in a messed up situation because someone can see that. And those luxuries that you may have obtained through your man could come to an end, and his sentence could end up getting extended.
They don't talk about that.
Yeah,
part.
they don't talk about that aspect. I know I was in there. I had phones like a mug. Listen, I went to the hole for a phone, even though they didn't catch it on me. They just told me my ticket literally said, "At some point in time, you once possessed the phone." I'm not lying. I got the ticket right now. They wanted me so bad that they didn't catch me with it. I let my cellie had it, and he told and said it wasn't mine. So once the sergeant read it to me, I was like, oh, yeah. She was like, yeah, this is some bull. And then she looked. The inspector wrote it. She was like, yeah, I can't touch this. I'll lose my job. I'm like, nah, but that's what she said. Listen, you right.
I'll lose my job.
She said, if the officer had wrote this, I would tear it up right now and unlock the door myself. Inspector wrote this. You're going to have to figure that out on that end. Exactly what she told me.
Boy, them inspector conversations is a motherfucker, ain't they?
And, so, again, it's you have to look at it from that aspect, man. Like, guys in there is doing what they do, whatever that may be, but if you love him, protect him. If he was out here confiding in you, pillow talking with you,
right?
Are you going to go out in the street and tell all your homegirls about what he doing, what he got going on? How would he feel if he found out you was? He would snap on you.
Right.
So, no, don't play him no different because he's inside. I understand you want to pick up your man. I get that. But you still supposed to protect your man.
No, for sure.
So that's why I say it's not being taken as serious as it should be.
I feel that. And I ain't gonna argue with that. Like I said, once you read a little further, you get where he going. But like I said, first read, I was like, wait a minute. Hell no.
No.
Hold on, because I'm daddy. Boy, I be making the good decisions. But I love this part. The strength in staying and strength in walking away. There is no shame in standing by someone during their darkest moments. But there is also no shame in leaving when the weight of their choices becomes too heavy to bear. Talk about that some more, bro.
Man, listen, we all have been in situations to where things get sticky, and we are trying to help someone along, but it's like the saying goes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You can try to support someone so much so to where you're giving so much of yourself, you're losing yourself. And they are not, as they say, reciprocating.
Yeah.
Not only to you, but not even to themselves.
Yeah.
So you can't be in a situation to where you allow somebody to put a hole in your ship and you just stay aboard. If you have an opportunity to get out and go swim, and they just staying on the ship.
Yeah.
It's sinking. You're saying, hey, let's go, let's jump. We got to go. And they're just standing there. That doesn't mean you have to go down with the ship. The saying sounds good, we going down with the ship, but guess what? You got children. It's
more counting on you.
Yeah.
Than you just staying loyal to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. I really respected that because, and I think we alluded to it earlier, it's like, yeah, it is solid to hold a person down and stay and do all of the things.
Yeah.
And I definitely value that. That said, though, that don't make it the end-all, tell-all, so to speak. Like, man, there's dignity in saying, hey, bro, I can't handle this shit.
And and the guy got to respect. I respect it if you tell me you can handle it because here, check this out. The flip side of that, too. You sticking around, you can't handle it from the aspect of, you need to be with somebody. You need to be held. You need some affection. You need to have sex or whatever it is. But you don't want to tell him that. But you out here doing it anyway. Towns are small. It's people from somewhere, everywhere. Mm-hmm. And now word get back to him that, you out here doing whatever.
Yeah, no, for sure. That it always come back. We always hear about it.
We always find out.
We gonna always
they even
hear
say,
about
they
it.
say, how y'all be
Knowing
hearing this?
about it.
We got our ear to the street.
No, for sure.
So then we in a situation that where we angry, we might jack wreck off, we going through an emotional roller coaster. Anything can happen, man. I mean, it could push us to any old moment. So the fact of them just coming up front and saying, look, I can handle this, I gotta go do this, this is where I'm at. So I gotta respect it, even in the anger and frustration. I have to respect the woman that just came up front and told me what it was. And then that's where the aspect of the different phases of support can come in.
True.
Okay, baby, look.
I can't do the full.
I get it. You can't do this, but can you be here for me in this aspect?
Exactly.
I will respect whatever you do. We ain't got to talk about it, but I really need somebody just to be here for me emotionally or mentally. I just need to be able to call somebody, or can you just send me some pictures from time to time?
Yeah.
Because I used to get that. I used to get a birthday card every other year or two, or a Valentine's Day card every year or two from different females, and they in relationships.
Yeah.
But it wasn't nothing like we was messing around.
Right.
They just was like
showing love.
Thinking about you.
Yeah.
Miss you. I ain't forget about that time you gave me some money to get my hair done and you ain't asked for the money back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got you when you come home.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Dog.
And it meant the world to me. And I still got some of them cards and letters to this day.
I do too. I got a box somewhere at my mama's house with a bunch of letters and cards and stuff too. I didn't keep a lot of my mail, but it was like certain things I kept. I brought home certain things from the penitentiary. But yeah, man, even in me starting a podcast, it was about recognizing my capacity to hold people down. If I only had one friend at every prison that I've been to, I got 14 people in the penitentiary that I need to hold down.
Man.
And fresh out the joint, you can't hold down 14 people. All I could do in my mind was keep some money on the phone and open up what I had on social media, which was a few thousand followers. It was like, all right, hey, I got this. If this can help y'all get out or get you a pen pal or whatever, let's do this.
But
and that's
you presented what you had.
I presented what I had.
And the person can't be mad. This is what I like when I told my cellie when I left, I said, listen, man, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm going home to nothing. I have nothing. But what I can't act like I'm finna send you all this money and all these secure packs, but I will make sure I send your OG some pictures so she can send them to you, because I can't be in kind of the counter I'm going to, they kind of strict.
Yeah.
I can't set up no JPay account till I get all paper.
Yeah.
But I will send her some pictures to send you from time to time. And that's what I did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He respected it. Matter of fact, he just reached out to me. He was like, you on paper now? What's happening? I said, you know what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as long as a guy up front, that's the thing. Be up
keep
front.
it 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100, man.
Man, when I got out, I used to just go get packages. I had like 10 people I was still sending stuff to, so I'm going to get like 10 of them picture envelopes and just stuffing all 10 of them. Like I make copies of all of the pictures and stuff them up and send them to everybody in the penitentiary. So I definitely got a bunch of pictures in the penitentiary. But one thing that's beautiful is I believe all but 2 of the brothers that I was sending stuff to is home now. So that's a beautiful thing, yeah. And they was all doing time. They wasn't, Dyson X was doing the Nat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was their brothers was doing a long time. So everybody home now. Everybody home now. But
the brothers home.
Yeah, man. So I want to switch gears a little bit and kind of get back into your penitentiary mind. Because we talked about like how people come in and out of your time, and you know, sometimes you stuck to do that thing by yourself as, you know, you got yourself into it. So like, what were the hardest years for you mentally? Like where was your greatest struggle, you feel like?
Well, I don't know if I want to define it as a struggle. It was my biggest fear.
Okay.
The one thing I feared wasn't even dying in prison.
No.
My biggest fear was my mother passing away while I was still in prison. And me not being able to come home and make things right, being able to come home and help her. Because what I, didn't speak of yet is that her husband, well, her widow husband, he was incarcerated. About 2 years, almost after, a little over 2 years after I got locked up, he got locked up. So now you got her two most important people, two most important men in her life.
Both gone.
Both gone. One doing life without parole, the other one doing a few years, but he ended up getting sick. He got cancer, and it got to the point it was so bad that where he got a commutation.
Oh, really?
He got a commutation, but before they could before they can even put the paperwork through, he died.
Damn.
And how they did it was so scandalous. Her and my aunt went up to see him, and my aunt said she knew something was wrong because first a sergeant came, the lieutenant came, the captain, now somebody in plain clothes. So my auntie jumped and run up there like, what's going on, followed by my mother. And they said, well, you can't see him. He dead. He died last week.
Last week?
Last week. Mom collapsed right there in the waiting area floor, and, all the other stuff happened next, calling the ambulance. But that's what ended up happening. So my mom had took that so hard, and at the time I ended up at this time I was on level 6. I think I was in level 5 or 6. No, I was in 6. They had busted it down to a 5 IMAX.
Okay.
They turned it to from a 6
my
to
dad
a 5.
was there when I was at MTU.
So that was a real difficult time, not just for me, because I was kind of still numb to everything, but because I knew what my mom was going through. And she was suffering a lot of judgment. Everything I do, like in there, I was like, I can handle me in here.
Yeah.
My only concern was my mother. And every day that was my struggle. My mom. I got to get out here to help my mom because she by herself, and I know what type of person she is. You know what I mean?
Man, and you're an only child.
And I'm my only child.
Damn.
It's just me.
What changed your thinking while you was incarcerated?
What I was doing wasn't working. I had a brother named DJ X. He was a solar.
Solar mean Melanic, y'all. We're going to have a conversation with a couple of Melanics, too, because that organization is a beautiful, I love them brothers. They covered me in different times in the penitentiary. Them is my brothers, so
absolutely.
Shout out to y'all. But
yes,
that's Melanic. Go ahead, bro. With the story.
And he kind of like, I don't want to say took me up on his wing, but we just got real cool, and he just used to talk about him. He used to see me on the yard moving, see me playing basketball, work out a little bit, going on visits, always on the phone, and he used to just kick it with me, not even wanting nothing, you know what I mean? And the reason I got kind of cool with him is because before that, when we came from quarantine, everybody had went to their prospective city cruise.
Yep.
But being from Lansing, we pretty much always the smallest.
Yep.
And I had ended up getting with some old heads, and all they did was play. These jokers had 30 years minimum each in already. Little did I know that they was the boogeymans in there. But we just played dominoes every day.
Right.
And they were solars.
Okay.
So again, fast forward, DJ's my boy, we chopping it up, and I just started reading. He started telling me about, the MIPRS. And I got cool, and I started really running with them for a while. Eventually, I transformed my mind. I elevated my mind and started to go to nation service. I started going to the study group.
Okay.
And I've always been an admirer of the teachings. My stepfather, who had passed in prison, he really he was a Moorish American.
Okay.
He was in prison back in the 70s.
Islam Mo.
Yeah. So he took Farrakhan was speaking to Detroit.
Okay.
They made me go. I was mad because I missed out on some
Whatever
business
was
we
going
was
on. Yeah,
some business I was handling down there. So my mom forced my hand. I went, and I'm glad I did because I was able to say,
I got to see that.
I got to see him live in action, speaking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But it just resonated with me, the discipline, everything I seen the brothers doing, and the example of Farrakhan and just self-worth, self-love, and the awakening inside your mind, and you being able to do what it is you choose, like taking your destiny in your own hands, not looking for somebody else to give you what you can do for yourself.
Yes, sir.
Do for yourself for suffer
Suffer
the
the
consequences.
consequences.
So I
Yes,
said to
sir.
myself, man, I got to do something for myself, man. I got to make a change. And that's where that 100% dissatisfaction came in place. I was completely dissatisfied with my conditions,
Yes, sir.
my way of thinking, because my way of thinking landed me where I was at.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's the thing about reentry. A lot of people think reentry starts once you leave. Reentry has to start before you leave.
Yeah.
I'm talking about years before you leave.
You have to
Because
know you
have
ain't
to
coming
know
back.
you ain't coming back. You have to program your mind.
Yeah.
So that school of thought is what really changed my way of thinking, man. And I got more on the studious side of things.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like to say that the Nation of Islam is has the formula on reentry and CVI.
Been had it.
Been had it forever. 90 years. Has been had the formula on CVI and reentry, and they are the best at doing that. I think a lot of us who made transitions came because it was the Nation of Islam that helped us change the whole pivot of our thinking. And when you talk about dangerous neighborhoods, going into them without weapons,
The most
and
dangerous.
having transitions happen,
And
that's-
still get respected
yes, sir.
in those areas.
Yes, sir. So I say that, yeah. But also, so that's also a reason why I want to have a couple of brothers come on and have a conversation about the Melanics, because there has always been that kinship of like the Solis, when their service was taken, they came to our service for their spiritual enlightenment. And my understanding of, Melanic Palace.
Melanic Islamic Palace of the Rising
Melanic
Sun.
Islamic Palace of the Rising Sun, man. I always slip up with them two words. My understanding is that it was originally about like black nationalism and uniting our people against the oppressor that was oppressing us at the time. It still is.
Yeah.
And not necessarily about like spiritual and like necessarily like religious practices. It was about just unity and strength.
It's a political organization with a spiritual background.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Or
sir. Because it
spiritual
still is Islam.
A spiritual foundation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yeah, it's always been that kinship, and like I said, them brothers have covered me in times where, the nation wasn't there, and they was on the yard and seeing what was going on.
That's
and
what they do.
In times where, man, I never forget their remembrances. It was like I actually need to get to some of the ones they be having in Detroit, because the Day of Remembrance used to be one of the most beautiful.
Yes,
like
it was.
community gatherings I've ever seen in my life. I mean, the idea of hood to hood, what I do now is like partly Nation of Islam and it's partly Melanics and the Day of Remembrance, because all it's about is just like bringing the community together.
All those schools of thought we watched that helped develop us, and you just put it into action out here.
Yes,
and
sir.
it's something that they ain't never seen, but they just don't know. All
They
them
just
bright
don't know.
minds.
It's coming from there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, for sure. What you think people misunderstand most about long-term incarceration?
The most. I think they know the effect that it has on the children, on families, but they ignore it because there is money to be made.
Yes,
I
sir.
mean, on the Getter Boys album, right? Which one was that? When Chief was on there, Resurrection. He spoke about how they got prisons on stock market now, private contractors, privatizing food industries in prison. It's big money now. It's big money.
Yes, sir.
Making money off it now. So the effects, the long-term effect, I mean, you got all these people locked up or on parole or probation in the country. It's actually turned into a money-making machine. But it's destroying communities.
Yes, sir.
It's destroying them.
Yes,
They just see profit. And also the effect that it has on the individuals who have to go through that experience because it's an abnormal environment. I might seem polished to put together, but I don't have it all the way together. I mean, I haven't lost my mind or anything like that, but to say that I didn't come out of that situation unscathed mentally, I would be lying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So those are aspects of long-term incarceration that I feel like people need to really open an eye to and stop turning a blind eye.
Did fatherhood have an impact on the way that you did your bit?
Man, I guess that's a hard question. And I only say that because I was young.
Right, you went at 18, so
yeah,
you was a young father.
I was young. But as I got older and I got to seeing the world, my mind began to mature. I was like, I didn't want that for none of my children. So it really made me starting to take parenting seriously, even from where I was at. Again, my mother, I love her. She's the only reason I even know who my children are or they know me. She's the one who brought them up. Just make sure you're seeing me faithfully. It was her. She's the one that made say, oh, what time, call at this time, I'm going to be over there so you can talk to your daughter. I'm going to talk so you can talk to your son. It was her who, when their mothers couldn't handle it for whatever reason, took my children in. Here, come on over here. I got you. You know what I'm saying? So.
So your mama ended up raising your kids too? Damn.
Yeah. She was daddy in my stead.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean?
Sir. You think prison made you bitter or wiser?
It definitely made me wiser. I was bitter.
My bad, y'all. My studio downtown.
It definitely made me wiser. I was bitter in the early stages, but only for a moment. And I realized fast that being bitter wasn't helping me. Like, what? Okay, I'm bitter, now what?
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Like, how was that helping me do all the things I have formulated in my mind that I want to get done?
Right on.
It's just holding me back. So I just, whether it was my BM, my baby mama, my girlfriend, my other chick, whoever it is not doing what I asked them to do, I'm not going to be mad and bitter. Family who I thought said they love me, they wasn't there for me, I'm coming home now. I'm not angry at them. I respect and understand that they had to live their life. They had, I guess, goals and things that they wanted to do. However, I also say this. Now that I am home, you can't expect from me.
No expectations.
Yeah, you can't expect from me what you wasn't willing to give me.
Facts. No expectations.
You can't look at me and expect what you weren't willing to give me.
Yes, sir.
And I mean, from that aspect, it's a clean field. We can build. I'm not saying that we can't.
But this is starting new.
Yeah, but we're starting anew.
I don't owe you nothing.
Yeah,
you don't owe me nothing.
We're starting anew, and you can receive that or not. But I'm going to continue to move forward and support you in any way I can from a distance, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, bro. I want to switch lanes a little bit because we've been here for a minute, and I don't know how much time. Well, I do know how much time I got left in the studio. I don't know how much time we've been recording, so I don't want to go forever, right? I want to be able to get us a succinct episode.
Gotcha.
But now that you've gone from incarcerated to helping people navigate freedom, what can you help us understand a little bit about more of what you do at SATO?
Definitely. Again, I'm a reentry specialist. I work in the JLU, which is the Juvenile Lifer Unit.
Okay.
What
is that?
Juvenile Lifer, all the guys who were sentenced to life without possibility of parole who are 20 and under, because that's what the Michigan Supreme Court said. That's where they're drawing the line at least for now.
Okay.
More to come.
Right.
We'll see how that turns out. But at least for now, that's what we deal with. I also deal with some direct appeal clients who are not juvenile lifers. What I do is I put together CRPs, which is a comprehensive reentry plan. I basically get your support network where you be housed at. If you don't have anywhere to go, I find somewhere for you to go. I utilize the resources that we have put together, resources that I search for, we search for, the team has gotten before I got there, and what we find together. I try to make sure that you see what it is that you have in your file, what you've been doing since you've been in there. You got your GED, did you get a trade? Are you married? Are you not? Who's alive? Where can you go? What kind of job employment? What do you want to do when you get out? What kind of work do you want to do? What type of work are you willing to do? I put together resumes for guys. I also put together what is called a housing investigation plan, which is wherever you're going, if it's a house especially, I contact your family. I keep in tune with them, let them know what's going on during the process. I get pictures, put it together put everything in a nice little bow, and I give it to their attorney. And their attorney uses it as a tool
Mitigating.
to get the most favorable sentence possible. So I take my job very serious. When I talk to guys, I be like, I need this, and this. I need it. I'm gonna be meeting up with you. I'm gonna be calling. And another aspect, I walk them through the entire process. From that aspect, if they negotiate a term of years, I'll be there on sentencing day with your family, explaining your family what's going on, the process, what it looks like after sentencing, how depending on when they went to prison, whether they got good time, disciplinary credits, or flat time, truth in sentencing, since it's been like 99, 2000. I help guys get parole. I do parole prep with guys, get them prepared to see the parole board. I throw questions at them. I take that serious as well, because a lot of guys wasn't even thinking about seeing a parole board. It just was.
They wasn't even thinking about seeing.
And then there's a lot of guys who just honestly think they're the smartest guy in the room, but they're really not. They think they can go in there and just tell these
say
people
whatever they want to say, and bro, you ain't slick. We done seen this shit before.
And then I tell guys, not only have they went to school for this, they've been doing this for years.
You don't think they've seen one of you before?
They've been listening to people come in there and give up every excuse for not taking accountability, not having a plan in place, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
So even after that, man, I'll make sure I go all the way to the point to where when the day a guy gets out, I'm usually there. I go up there with your family, meet your family up there. The attorney usually wants to see the way through. I make sure a guy has his vital docs, that's his birth certificate, social security card, and ID, medication for at least 30 days, all his documents and property. And sometimes we go grab a bite to eat just to celebrate. Other times I let a guy get on with his family, go do his thing, man. But I give them my card and tell them if they need me, help trying to navigate how to turn in their insurance on, anything like that, I'm available. And I just continue to try to show support.
So that was what you was doing when you just navigated the brother over there the brighter way to us.
Yep.
Okay. That's dope. That's dope. I like that.
I try to make sure that people just get what they need.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When I came home, I didn't have that. I was calling everybody, and everybody told me, "Oh, you're in Lansing. Come to Detroit. Come to Detroit." There was nothing
in
here.
Detroit. Yeah, no, nothing's here.
So I was at it alone. So I know that's coming. I know what that feels like. So I try to go the extra mile, especially when guys are coming from places outside of Detroit.
Man, you walk right into my question. My next question was what are the emotional things that you faced coming home, and that the people that you helped face?
Oh man. When I came, the biggest thing, like I said, when I walked through the door, my mama didn't know who I was, but when I came home, I had nothing. I had a couple dollars in my account that they put on a little card, but I didn't have no job lined up. Oh, I said, and that's the biggest. It took me 5 months to get a job. No one would hire me, not even any of the fast food chains. No one wanted to take a chance on me. I finally got a job at a factory out in Hope, only paying $14 an hour. And think about that in today's time.
Right.
But I took that job
and grinded it.
I wanted to show that I could work around people. I wanted to have some on my resume to say, hey, he already is working. They say it's easy to find a job
once you got a job. Yep.
And then I never even got paid because they played me. Yeah, they played me. But my next job was at a factory, Bridgewater.
Okay.
And they were finna tell me I ain't had a job. But the HR called me and said, I just got to let you know that we're not going to be at it. And I said, wait, before you say that, let me ask you a question. This is our exact conversation. I said, how many times, do you watch the news? She said, yeah, I watch the news all the time. I said, how many times on there do you see some crazy stuff? God does a shooting, a robbery, or whatever. She said, all the time. I said, well, how many times do you see that he usually has a prison record? She said, all the time. That's what I'm saying. I said, okay, I get it. I said, well, have you ever thought about the fact that that guy might have went to everybody trying to get a job? And I mean everybody. Fast food, factories, newspaper, you name it. And everybody told him no. I said, but then what do you expect him to do? The only thing he can do is go back to what he knows or go lay in the middle of the street and let a bus hit him. What do you expect? And she literally got quiet for about 30 seconds. And I'm like, hello? Hello? I don't want to hang up because it's my shot. Hello? She was like, yeah, I'm here. She said, I'm just thinking. It's never been explained to me like that. She said, you know what? Let me call you back. I'm not making you no promises, but just give me a second. I'm not, just hold on. Call me back 2 weeks later. Hey, I'm still got to ask. I got to move it up the chain. Just give me a minute. Another 2 weeks, you coming back. Guess what? It went all the way up to the vice president.
Damn.
They said, give you a shot. You ready? Still want to work? I asked, yeah.
Damn.
And that's when I started.
Now that's deep.
Yes, sir. Sold myself.
Yeah. It's also deep because in advocacy work, I don't think a lot of people understand those intricacies when they look at the system. Mm-hmm. They think, okay, you committed a crime, you get punished for your crime, and when you get out, they don't recognize that the punishment continues. Especially like what I'm realizing as I'm working at A Brighter Way is navigating people with a CSC is damn near impossible because society feels like they should get beat up and beat up and beat up and beat up. Indeed. You did something to a kid, you need to get beat up until you die. And for that reason, it's like, well, all right, I feel you. I'm a dad. I understand.
But
what do you think is going to happen with these people who can't get jobs and who can't get adequate living and who keep on getting beat up at every turn when they're trying to do things? Mm-hmm. There is a natural reaction. And once that happens, don't act surprised.
Absolutely.
And then what if it blows up on like somebody that is related to you or like, man, if
it touches home.
If it touches home, and that's kind of how Lansing 360 got started also. It was like nobody in the Lansing area believed that it touched us. The gun violence touched us. You know, I went for a while saying that, and I know this is like a sidebar, but it's just a conversation I'm having because it came to mind. And we both from Lansing. But, you know, I was one of them people that was like, well, Lansing don't really have a gun violence problem because we don't got a lot of murders. We don't got a lot of shootings. Mm-mm. I think we have a systemic racism problem wherein black and brown and poor people are put in certain places and therefore the crime rate is in them places and they lock us up more. But dig this. A brother changed my perspective. He said, bro, you know, there's about 100 and some thousand people in Lansing, 150, 180, depending on what number you take. Right? But there's only about 25,000 black people in the Lansing area. And of those 25,000 black people, 85% of the gun violence that happens in the city happens amongst us. Now that changed the perspective for me.
Numbers don't lie.
Because that basically made Lansing's black community equal to like a Benton Harbor. And per capita, the amount of gun violence that happens with us is happening on the level of other cities where they really having gun violence problems at because all of it is happening with us. Yeah. Just us.
Just us.
In a city that's predominantly white, 85% of what's happening is happening with us. Our little 25,000 black people. And of those 25,000, I'm sure at least 8 to 10,000 of them related somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's wild as hell. When I heard that, I was like, oh yeah, no, not only do we have a gun violence problem in Lansing, like this shit is extreme. 85%? And it's just this many of us? That's why we all know each other. I didn't understand it, you know, because I came from a different city and grew up here. Mm-hmm. I came from Dallas. So when I came here, a lot of the nuances of Lansing I didn't understand. I was just growing up in the 90s crack era, and then I went to prison.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I didn't really understand what was going on. It wasn't until I was in prison and having to be one of the big homies and cling to our city, and then I started understanding some of the dynamics of the real Lansing. Because I was growing up, like, when I was a shooter, I was a shooter.
Right.
I didn't care who we was beef. I remember we used to get into it with guys, and my homeboys used to be like, no, don't do that. That's a dog. I don't give a fuck who cousin is. I'm finna kill him right here. And once I was in the penitentiary, I realized, because these niggas all damn near related.
And
Like, they be beefing because they mad at each other, but they don't want to kill each other. No. It's not really that for the most part.
Rarely.
There are some, like, that's why,
rare.
but for the most part, this is more of a tight-knit community that's having disagreements and shit.
Because when we go to prison, most of us we get, long as it wasn't no
real bloodshed
like that, lance and roll.
But when I look back at it, though, it's like, okay, this new generation act more like I acted when I was growing up. These younger niggas, they are more willing to pop the shit out their cousin. Like, they don't care here these days. And again, it's happening. 85% of it is happening with us. So that's a sidebar. That's something that's not even got nothing to do with this. Right. But it does have something to do with the work that we do. Because your work in reentry, my work in reentry, I believe, is full circle to the work in CVI.
Absolutely.
A lot of those of us who went to the penitentiary, who did harm to the community, and were given another opportunity to come back to the community, often we desire to prevent those younger people from going through what we went through, which is where the whole CVI model really comes from. Is like us trying to stop this from happening generationally. So I guess it does relate in that sense. Let me see. Oh, that's a good one. How important is mentorship for formerly incarcerated, like from formerly incarcerated people who are out here? How important is that? So like when a guy when you got out the joint, or when one of your people come home, how important or how valuable is, that mentorship piece?
It's very important. I mean, you got to keep in mind, the sad truth is our community glorifies prison. Homie in there doing it, he holding it down, he did this, that, and the third. He got in there, he just called me, he sent me pictures, he got this. And when you come home, no matter what you was in there doing of that nature, if you were trying to go in a positive direction, you still will have, and your pulse to the streets, but you will have the respect of the guys in the streets still, and while you can't save everybody, it's just a reality.
Facts.
But, it's more about working with them to allow the youth a chance to not go to prison, a chance to not get killed, a chance to not catch a case. You know what I mean? To go to school, to do something, whatever they want to do, because a lot of times it's peer pressure.
Right.
A lot of times it's peer pressure. A lot of times they don't have to be out there like that. I mean, to be honest, we in the city, it's poverty. But for the most part, man, you still have a choice to determine, like, what are you going to do with your life?
That's facts.
It's just all about sacrifice.
Yes,
so sir. I think utilizing the ability to be, be mentor to those who are out here, doing what they do is very important.
Yes,
use
sir.
your voice, man. Them stripes you done earned, use them.
That's exactly what it was. I came home like that.
Call a shot.
Yep.
Use them stripes, man.
Be the big homie.
Yeah.
And try to fix this shit,
and most of the time, gotta be supportive of that, man. Even if they
in the mix still.
Even if they themselves ain't trying to feel it, they respect the fact that you're trying to help the kids.
Yep, for sure. For sure. That's 100%. We about to get out of here. I'm going to ask you a couple more questions for some like quick answers, and then we'll close out. So the first question is, what's harder, surviving prison or surviving freedom?
Man.
Have you seen the viral video of the nigga that was talking about, man, niggas be acting like they tough because they went to the penitentiary and did. Niggas survive out here, live out here for 30 years without going. You seen that?
Yeah, I seen that. Let me say this. The reason I took such a deep thought, because I was thinking from an aspect of somebody who did decades in prison and then having to come out here, and, it's like taking your mind state from the Flintstones to the Jeffersons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not easy.
Dramatic contrast.
Dramatic. So from that aspect, that's what I was contemplating. But to be just generally speaking, it's harder in prison, man. I used to always say, man, I trade them problems y'all out there crying and whining about, respectfully, I take them on any day.
Yes, sir.
Rather than have to ask to use the bathroom
when I need
to go.
Oh, God.
Till when I had to hold my piss, but I see a dog walking outside, they letting him go use the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Easy. The stuff old boy talking about some this hard, man, all you in the routine, you got choices. You got choice and opportunity. When you inside, you don't have them choices and opportunity.
Facts. It's a
So
whole
from that
nother mental
aspect,
game.
man, listen, the penitentiary is being in prison, being locked up away from your loved ones is the most difficult circumstances that you can find yourself in, hands down, man. I don't care what nobody say about it's hard paying bills. You got an opportunity to either take them bills on or not. We don't have that opportunity.
Yeah.
The big thing is choice. You still have a choice out here.
You still have the choice, the ability.
Yeah, you don't have it in there, man.
Define freedom in one sentence.
One sentence?
One sentence. What is freedom for you?
I'm going to say loving yourself.
I respect that.
Loving yourself. And I say that because when you inside, it's hard for you to love yourself because most of us grew up not even knowing what love was. We were snatched up so young and in the mix. Most of us were high and drunk every day, and I'm not even saying to an aspect of where we just not coherent.
But fuzzy
just
brain.
Fuzzy brain, and we just didn't know what anything was. So we didn't know what love was. We didn't know what love ourselves was. We thought even expressing love
Was weak.
So after maturing and knowing that you need to love yourself, that's strength. That's freedom, because you begin to make decisions based upon the love you have for yourself.
Yes,
and
sir.
if you got love for yourself, then you can develop love for others.
Yes, sir.
It's about freeing not only your heart, but freeing your mind.
I agree. I like that. What do you hope people take from reading your book?
I really want people to take the fact that we can't forget about the people that support us. And I'm not even just talking about the women who support guys who are in prison, but I'm talking about the women that support guys when they're out here.
Yes, sir.
I mean, the reality is we are always, and I can only speak on our community, we are always leaning on our women.
Mm-hmm.
So just don't forget that. Keep that in mind in the decisions that you make. Also, that don't stereotype a man because he is in prison or because he's been to prison. Because all the things you say, oh, a guy in prison, he'll do this, he said that, he and that got that. Well, so did the guy out here that ain't never did a day. Ain't never seen inside of a police precinct.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want women who read this to remember to love themselves.
Yes, sir. What legacy you want to leave?
That I didn't let my past dictate my future.
Okay.
That's why I understand. My daughter told me, Dad, college ain't for school ain't for everybody. I said, you're right. But you still can do something. I'm choosing to finish my degree. It's a choice. I'm choosing. I'm doing it not just because I want to better my life, but to show my children and my grandchildren when they grow up, they're like, yo, Grumpy, he did all this time and he still ended up with a degree. Still doing this, still doing that.
Yes, sir.
So what is your excuse?
Ain't nobody after me got no excuses.
I did it already. My cousin, Deuce, he always be like, man, we did all the time. Kids shouldn't have to do a day, man. We already did all the time, man.
Yeah.
I ain't got to do nothing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, I think that was a great conversation. I'm glad that we were able to walk through the book and talk a lot about the
Definitely.
different aspects of that support thing and the generational incarceration and how it affects people and all of those things. It's probably going to be another continued conversation. We'll probably talk again on the podcast.
Looking forward to it.
And I'm thinking, man, maybe the deeper question is not whether a woman should hold a man down, but how do we stop prison from destroying entire families and communities?
Indeed.
Before I get up out of here, man, where do they find the book? How do they get a copy of the book?
The book is available on Amazon and Barnes & Nobles on paperback and ebook. It's also available on my website. You can get a regular copy, ebook, or an autographed copy. It's www.finallyfreeconsultation.com. Again, www.finallyfreeconsultation.com, all one word.
Yeah, y'all make sure y'all go support the brother, man. He's doing some really good things in the community, in the city, in the country, state, whatever, and giving some real information that could really help people moving forward. I appreciate y'all for supporting me. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I appreciate you for pulling up.
Sure.
Of course, this is episode number 40. We are grinding. I will be getting them last 10 episodes done. Then I'm a pro. Then they can't say nothing to me. Of course, this will be out before Hood to Hood drop, before Hood to Hood happens. So this next Sunday, May 17th, we will be at Durant Park for Hood to Hood from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Free food brought by Eastside Fish Fry, bounce houses. Man, we got everything going on. Community resources. We got DJ Genesis coming back into town for 517 Day. It's on, man. It's jumping. So I appreciate y'all. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Yeah, when y'all see this, get in the comments and tell us about what you thought about the book, what y'all thought about the conversation. And with that said, free the real. Keep the rest.
Free the real.